Guys, I finally did it, and I'm so excited to share it with you. I have been running this YouTube channel for about 2.5 years now. And over all that time, I have spent a lot of time researching EDC gear, just trying to find the best loadout that I could absolutely find and share with you guys. And I'm super excited because I have come up with the ultimate Blackout EDC. Let's get into it.
Welcome to Average Gear Review, but the best gear is the gear you have on you.
So guys, welcome to the channel. Welcome back to the channel. It's your friendly neighborhood average gear reviewer here, back with another video for you. Go ahead and hit that like button. Go ahead and subscribe. You're going to love this one. As always, I'm going to put links down in the description so that you can find all of this stuff if I have links available for it. I believe that everything I have, there are links available for it. And I'll make sure and put those down below so that if you guys want to grab any of this stuff, you definitely can. In EDC, I'm sure you're all familiar with the old adage, outside of the normal things like, your wallet, your watch, your phone, which this is not my actual phone because I'm recording with it, but this is just my stand-in. So, and then your keys. But outside of that, I think you may have heard the adage before. You want something that you want to be able to light. You want something to write. You want to be able to write. You want to be able to cut. You want to be able to fix. And you want a fire source. So those are like the 5 basic things that you want to have. Now, what I try to do with a lot of my gear, I try to get things that encompass several of those things into one. Like just say, for instance, in my wallet, I have an Otical card in here that is actually a little multi-tool card. So that's just another, while I've got the wallet, and this is the Fidelo Minimalist wallet is the wallet that I carry actually. And like I said, I'll have a link for it. It lets you pop your cards out like that. It's super awesome. This one does have a aluminum frame on the inside that you can take out. And I got a little extra piece of duct tape in there just in case. That's one of the tips I'll give you about EDC is if you have an extra surface, you can always put some duct tape on it. And it's always something handy to have around. But even just in the wallet, I've got something that I can use to fix. It's got a bottle opener. It's got several different size wrenches that you can use. It's got a pry bar, flathead screwdriver. It has a Phillips screwdriver, little kind of small Phillips screwdriver there. I don't know if you guys can even see that. Anyway, so it's, I like to try to combine as many things into one as I can so that each thing serves multiple purposes. Then some things, like a Leatherman's going to cover a lot of these things, especially something like the Leatherman Wave, a big full-featured multi-tool, is going to have your pliers, but you could replace the cut with this because it does have a good full-size folding knife on it. So this could eliminate one piece of gear. Now, being former military myself, I definitely subscribe to the, 2 is 1 and 1 is none. So I think you should have backups for everything, or at least things that are able to sort of fill in those gaps of being able to do multiple things at once so that you're getting a lot of efficiency out of each piece of gear. So what I want to do in this video, I just want to go through and show you guys this ultimate Blackout EDC that I've got. I'm just going to go through everything. At the end, I'll have some different carry options for you. The next video that I do is going to be, we're going to talk about a gag bag, which is something that I hear people talk about bug out bags a lot, but I've got an idea of this thing that I'm calling the gag bag. So I'll get into that in the next video for sure. My EDC, I would say I have a core thing, you know, like the 5 things I just showed you are sort of the core of what I carry. That on top of, you know, wallet, phone, watch, and keys. But there are some things that I do carry and that I'll add to that from time to time, depending on what I'm going to be doing. So what I want to do is basically go through each thing and show you each piece of gear, and then I'm going to give you some carry options at the end of the video. So I'll go through like how I carry everything and where I carry it. So you know, I already showed you the phone. The phone that I actually use and the one that I'm filming on right now that you're watching me from, I have a Samsung S23. It's nothing super fancy, but it does have a very good video camera on it. So I'm really, really happy with that phone. It's probably time for me to upgrade it right by now, but I just haven't had any reason to upgrade it basically. So my watch, if you've seen any of the other pocket dump videos that I've done, I carry the TicWatch Pro Ultra is the name of it. And one of the things I love about this watch is it has, let me make sure I can get that in there you go. So it's got a AMOLED screen that is reflective, and it actually, even when the phone screen's not active, this screen will be active, and you can, this greatly increases the amount of time that the watch will last. And it does have a full color screen as well, you know, and it's got the touch capabilities so you can go through different things. But I love the fact that it has this, I can't get it to do it now. But I do love how it has this basic sort of like an off screen that you can always see. So, like I said, it really increases the battery life. I find that it lasts a lot longer between charges, and but it still has all the features of a smartwatch. I honestly don't use it a whole lot. Sometimes I'll get notifications on it and stuff when I'm really busy, but generally just wear it as a timepiece. So, like I said, the wallet that I carry is the Fidelo Minimalist wallet. It has a leather exterior with, it has 2 different pockets in it. And then, like I showed you before, it has the aluminum insert here, which you can actually carry that by itself if you want to. And it does fan the cards up for you really nicely. I love how that it sort of presents the cards for you. And I've included that in other pocket dump videos. So if you've seen any of those, you've probably seen this wallet before. Then I just did a video on the Keyport Pivot 2.0 system. I really, really like this. This was sort of a game changer for me as far as my EDC goes, because one of the biggest comments that I've gotten in all my other pocket dump videos are, where's your keys? So here they are. They're in the Keyport Pivot 2.0. Keyport was awesome to send me out a blacked out version. I don't want to get into this one too much because I've covered it just in a really recent video. But what it does is it has several inserts that you can put into it along with your keys. You can see how the key fits in there. And then it's got different inserts that you can get for it. And it's really neat. It's like a configurable Swiss Army knife, which they just came out with a new system called the Versa 5.8. That really want to get my hands on one. I reached out to them to see if they'll send me one, so maybe I'll have one to show you guys here pretty soon. But it's called the Versa 5.8, and it uses a magnetic system. So I can't wait to get my hands on one of those. Keyport, if you're watching this one, send me one. Send me one. For the light, I carry. This is the one that just finds its way into my pocket most of the time, I would say. It's the Streamlight. What is this? It's the Wedge TX. The Wedge XT. This is a great little EDC flashlight. It's very bright. It's got a 2-step function to it, and it does have a lockout. So if you press the button 5 times and hold it down, it goes into a lockout mode, and then you can't accidentally see where's the little light. Yeah. So if you try to activate it, it gives you a little warning there. So that's one of the things I really like about this one, and the slim shape of it makes it really easy to EDC. It slips right in and out of your pocket, the pocket clip. It's got an external USB-C charging port right here. So it's just really handy. It fits very well in the pocket, and it's very bright. I honestly don't remember what the specs are on it right now, and I'm so sorry. I should know that off the top of my head. The pen that I'm carrying right now is the O-Pen Mini 2. And if you're familiar with the O-Pen Mini, you know they're great little pens. It's just the right size to me. It's not too small. A lot of the miniature pens are just a little bit too small, but this one seems like it's just the right usable length. And it does this, the O-Pen Mini 2 has a pen that you can write with, but it also has a scribe tip that you can pop out there, and it's very sharp. So, you know, it's another one of those things, a small aluminum pen like this, it doesn't really seem like a weapon, but if you pop that little spike out on the top, I mean, you could really, use it as a battering weapon. And again, that just goes to sort of combining more than one of those categories together into one thing. And if you guys watched my recent video, you know that it's going to be the ProTech TR3 operator. This is a super cool all aluminum scale purpose-built knife. This is basically a ghost knife. Like I said in the video, it has no billboarding or serialization whatsoever. It's a OTS, like I said, automatic. It kicks like a mule. Got great grip to it. Good jimping on the back. If you missed the video on this one, check that one out because this is a really, really awesome knife. I had to trade for it because it's not one that I can afford. By the way, I did a poll before this video and asked you guys what the two most important items out of all the EDC that you carry. What are the two most important items? And it was divided. It was actually 50-50. 50% said wallet and 50% said phone. So let me know in the comments down below what you think about that. What do you think the most important EDC item is? Out of those two, I would say phone would take the edge in that one, because you can put your cards and stuff on your phone and just use it through your phone instead of having to carry your cards. So I don't know. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Do you think that the phone or wallet is the most important thing? So let's get to the bottom of that one. So anyway, the next part of our 5 tenets is you've got fix, and in my opinion, you really can't get much better than the Leatherman Wave Plus. This is the blacked out version, and guys, this multi-tool has everything that you need. It's got a bit driver that does come with a dual-ended bit, so you can use flathead or a Phillips screwdriver, but you can also get the bit kits, and you can have just basically any kind of bit that you need there. Now, I don't know why I'm having a hard time getting these out. You got a can opener on there as well. And the inside doesn't really have as much gear as a lot of them do, because they have a lot of stuff on the outside, which is one of the things about this that I really like. You do have your scissors in here, which is a small size pair of scissors, but they are usable. And then you've got a flathead screwdriver. Another cool thing about the Wave that I really like is all the internal tools are lockable. And then, of course, you've got, really good set of adjustable cutters there and great needle nose pliers. As always, Leatherman's always got great needle nose pliers. But what really makes the Wave awesome is you can access most of the most commonly used things from the outside of the knife, and they are all locking. So each one of them has its own liner lock, which is really, really cool. And so of the 4 external things, you've got a file, the knife I just showed you. You've got another serrated knife. And which one did I not open? Oh yeah. And then you got a saw blade. And like I said, they're all lockable by the liner lock. So that's why I think the Wave Plus really is probably the best, just overall, EDC multi-tool out there. And that's why it made it into the Ultimate Blackout EDC. If you've watched some of my old pocket dump videos, you probably have seen this before. It is the Lighter Bro Pro. And going with the blacked out theme, I've got one of the Bic Max blackout lighters. So it actually has the shroud is blacked out. Everything's blacked out on it. So I thought that really matched well with the blackout theme. So I thought I would just go with that. This one does have the optional pocket clip, which I like if you want to clip it inside your pocket. I usually just carry it inside the pocket. But what the Lighter Bro Pro gives you is it's a sleeve for your lighter, but it also has some tools built into it. So you've got a nice sharp little knife there. You've got what could be a poker tool or a really small flathead screwdriver. And on the other side, if I can get them out for you here, got a handy dandy set of scissors. So, again, it goes along with that theme that I was talking about earlier, things serving many, multiple purposes. So this one sort of, what it does, the sleeve gives you basically like a multi-tool that's just right on your lighter, and it doesn't really take up any more room, a little bit more, but it doesn't really take up much more room than just a standard lighter. So I highly recommend these. They're very handy, because a lot of times if you just have your lighter with you and nothing else, it's good to have the extra stuff with you. Now, I do always carry around my neck, I've got it on a titanium chain here, which is also blacked out, by the way, as you can see. I've got the iMini 2 from Olight. It is a really great little knife. It's very bright. Knife. It's a great little flashlight. It's very bright, and it's activated when you pull it away from it. So if you need to use it, you can just pull it out. Very easy to hold in your mouth too, but it's really nice to have that. I had to take it off before I started shooting the video. See, it wouldn't be a video if I didn't drop something, right? So this is one I had to actually take off before I started the video because I'm just so used to having it on. Like I always have it around my neck. So another part of EDC for me, I like to have a good belt. And the belt really can make a big difference in your carry. There's a lot of different types of belts that you can use. I really like this Vismix tactical belt, and it's part of a 3-belt system. It goes with my gun belt. Here's Snoopy out there. But it has Velcro on the outside. So it's adjustable Velcro belt, but the whole exterior of it is Velcro. And what that allows you to do is my gun belt that goes with it will actually Velcro onto this and kind of fix it in place. So it's super handy. And I'll have to show the gun belt sometime. I'm still kind of setting it up, so I'm not really ready to show it off yet. But it also, rolls up really neatly, kind of stores out of the way. But I'll show you when I go to the carrying options. I'll show you some of the reasons why I really, really prefer this type of belt. So another thing that I really like to carry is for a multi-tool, and it's so small it's really good for slipping into like a fifth pocket on your jeans. It's the SOG Power Leader. Now there's a Power Pint that's really good too. It's an excellent little multi-tool. This is a great little multi-tool just for the size. It is just big enough to be usable, but it's small enough and folds up small enough that it's really just kind of gets out of the way. But the SOG Power Leader is definitely one I would recommend. It has all the functions you need on a multi-tool. The Power Leader, I believe the biggest difference is the Power Leader has the corkscrew, and it also has this locking piece on the back here. So one of the cool things about these SOG smaller ones is if you look there, you can see that's hex size, and it's just the right size to fit a bit in. So you can actually use this as a bit driver. And the nice thing is this little locking latch here allows you to lock the handle down so that when you're using that, it makes this kind of one piece. So the SOG power leader, in my opinion, is a must have, and that's why it's on my ultimate loadout here. Another thing that I've started carrying here recently and I really like is the Gerber Prybrid. And there's a couple of reasons that I really like this. For one, it looks nice. It's a nice looking pry bar, and it's got a good feel to it. Of course, you got a really good pry bar here at the tip. This little slot right here, you can actually use that for an oxygen key. And then it does have a bottle opener there. And this one as well, it has a seatbelt cutter notch here, and it's got the utility blade. So this thing packs a lot of utility, a lot of function into a really small space, and I really like it. It's got some nice G10 scales on there. Get a good view of that. It's got some really nice textured G10 scales on there. So it's made it into the ultimate loadout there. Something that I do carry from time to time, if I'm carrying my firearm, I'll usually carry this as well, is a Saber pepper spray. Blacked out, of course. You know, it's a step between having to use lethal force and, you know, being able to defuse a situation possibly without having to use lethal force, but still something that's a deterrent, to keep people at distance, you know, if you will. So that instead of having to deploy the knife or using the gun, you can use something like that. Create a little distance, just discourage, deter, give you enough time to get away, basically. I do always, when I go out, my eyes are a little bit light sensitive, so I'll always have a pair of sunglasses. I try to find just like an inexpensive pair of sunglasses that are like safety rated. So you can find them that are ANSI rated, where they will basically, they're resistant to, I think it's bird shot from a shotgun. I do have a Blackout Hank that I carry. It's just a microfiber cloth, but I found it's really handy to have something like that, especially when you have electronic devices like your phone or your watch. It's nice to have something to, you know, to wipe those off and clean them off and keep them clean. Right now I'm using the Galaxy Buds from Samsung. They pair up really nicely with my phone. They've got a good sound to them. And they're all black too, so, you know, I thought it fit in. I already did show you before, but the TicWatch Pro Ultra 3 is the watch that I'm carrying. Now, some of the things that I'll add on from time to time, I do like to carry, if I'm carrying a pack or something, I like to carry a Sharpie. And with this Sharpie, like I was talking about before, there's infinite ways that you can carry duct tape. You can wrap a few wraps around something. So I wrap duct tape around this to make it black for the Blackout loadout, right? It's not cheating, is it? I don't think so. It's extra utility. This is just a Sharpie pen, which I really like these as well because they'll write on a lot of different surfaces. But the nice thing about Sharpies in general, especially from a nurse's perspective, if you're having a triage, you can use these to write on people. You can write on surfaces, leave notes for people. So a Sharpie is one of those things I just think is really neat to have if you have room to carry it. As always, if you guys have watched any of my videos before, you know that I like to carry the Taurus G2c 9mm. It holds 12 plus 1 rounds, so 13 rounds of 9mm in a really, really small compact package. It does have adjustable sights. And on this one, I carry the Olight Balder RL. So this one has laser. Can you see it? Yeah, has laser and flashlight. Sorry, that's so bright. Laser and flashlight capability, or you can use them in combination, which I like using them in combination. I do just use the standard mags for them, and I like to use these are I think these are Federal. hollow points. So, yeah. Just a word to the wise for your self-defense guns. You probably don't want to be carrying just like, you know, brass slugs because they'll overpenetrate really bad. I carry it usually in a, boy, I cannot for the life of me remember. I think it's a gun and flower holster. And I use an ulti clip to clip it to my belt usually. But the nice thing about the ulti clip is you can clip it straight to your jeans, to shorts, to really anything. You can see it's got sort of teeth in there. And when you lock this down, it doesn't move. If you guys have been following the channel for a while, there was a while back I fell down the stairs on our back patio, and I had the Taurus on me in the holster, and it never moved. Didn't drop it. It was awesome. So I'm completely sold on this carrying system. So the other thing that I always make sure that I have on me, especially if I'm carrying my firearm, is I like to have a tourniquet. Now this one that I've got is a really small EDC tourniquet. It's called the snake staff tourniquet. Again, I'll have links for all this stuff down below if you want to grab one, but they're really great. They work really well, and they're very easy to apply to yourself. And I found out the other day that it'll actually fit in this clip and carry Kydex sheath that I've got. It'll fit better than that, I swear. I swear, guys, I swear. Yeah, see, it actually fits in there pretty well. Now, this clip and carry is actually made to hold the Leatherman. Let's see if I can get it the right side in there. Yeah, it's made to hold the Leatherman Wave Plus, and it's just a little Kydex sheath with a good sized belt clip on it, so you can clip it to your belt if you want to use it. I'll use it like that sometimes if I'm carrying several things in my pockets. Might be getting a little over full. And but like I said, I just figured out the other day that this little tourniquet will fit inside that as like a quick, like a quick grab. So I thought that was pretty cool. Another thing that I like to carry, and I've just got it in a little black pouch, because this I can actually clip it onto my belt if I need to, but usually I'll keep it in the car or keep it somewhere nearby. But it's a little bit of a IFAK, AFAK sort of kit. And I've just got some basic stuff in here in a Ziploc bag, really. But I've got some gloves, I've got some tape, a couple of bandages, some gauze. So, it's really more like a boo-boo kit, an owie kit, than anything else. Oh, another thing that I like to keep handy is a little notebook, something just slim. This one I did coat with some of the black duct tape just to make it a little more durable, make it last a little bit longer, a little more weatherproof. But in general, I keep something like that in a back pocket, somewhere handy to write. If you got to jot little notes down and things like that, it's nice to have something, especially in cases of a grid down situation or something. It would be really good to have something to be able to take notes if your phone's not available. So another couple of things that I really like to carry is what a brain fart. Oh my gosh. Another thing that I really, really like to carry is some sort of sidearm retention knife. Something like the Benchmade SOCP or the incredible Tour Knives Serpent S. Something like this. It's a good idea to carry a fixed blade, and I'll tell you why. Fixed blades deploy much faster. They have much less failure points, so you can get this knife out and into the mix really, really quickly. Whereas, with a folding knife, you got to take it out of your pocket, deploy it. Even if it's really fast deploying, it's still an extra step. And then you do have that failure point of the hinge of the knife. It's not a full tang piece of steel like you have with something like the Serpent S, where that is one full solid piece of steel all the way through it. That is not going to, it has, you know, literally no failure points on it. Isn't that just beautiful? I love that knife. So sexy. But yeah, I just did a video on the Tor Serpent S, so if you want to check that out, make sure and check that video out. I went over every little detail of it and why I love it. This one I'm thinking about putting on my gun belt, but I'm not exactly sure where I want to put it and exactly how I want to mount it. So I don't have a clip or anything on this yet, but I will have. So I think I've covered about everything. So what I'd like to do is just, I'm going to go over some carry options with you, and I'll show you kind of how I carry everything and where I carry it. So yeah, let's get into that. All right, guys. So I'm going to go over some of the like how I carry, where I carry everything, and I'll just kind of put it on one at a time and just give you some ideas of maybe some tips and tricks that I've come up with over time. So the first thing I'm going to start off with is my Vismix tactical belt. This is going to kind of be like my base layer for everything. So we'll go ahead and put that on. And like I said, the great thing about this belt is the fact that it's not just infinitely adjustable because of it being a Velcro belt. So that allows you to add the holster length in there really quickly, really easily. But it also is coated on the outside with the same Velcro, which is really awesome. And when it locks into that outer belt, it's really great. It doesn't move around and jostle on you. So that's a super cool feature of this belt. Generally, what I will do, actually, you know what? Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. So whenever I put my holster in, I generally will put my hand into it like this, and then line it up with where it needs to go. Now, I like to pull the end of the belt right up to the clip there, so that it just kind of keeps it a little more hidden, and then get the holster right where it needs to be. When you first start carrying like this, guys, if you're carrying appendix, it may take a little bit of getting used to. I have to say, for me, at first, it was a little bit uncomfortable. You got to kind of find just the right angle. And that's one of the nice things about this type of clip is I can really easily adjust the angle on it. So, again, firearm is unloaded. And it usually rides right about there, which is a good angle for draw. But it still doesn't really print. Like I said, it'll take you some time with whatever your pistol is, whatever your holster is, to figure out just that right angle where it's going to ride well for when you sit, and you move around. So, you know, you just gotta carry it. It was uncomfortable for me at first carrying appendix and thinking about where you have a loaded firearm pointed, basically. But it's something you just have to get used to. And it's one of those weird things a lot of times that just, you know, once you do it and carry for a while, you don't even think about it anymore. So generally, that's where I like to carry right side appendix, just a little bit offset from the center, not too much to where it's going to stick out beside me on the sides, and enough to where it's going to kind of contour to my body so that it's not printing. That's, you know, when you're concealed carrying, you definitely don't want to be printing, you know. So but this holster, pistol, everything combination works really well for me. You may find a different holster type works better for you. Generally, I will carry wallet in your back left pocket. If you're left-handed and you carry a pistol on the left, I would say put it in your right pocket. You want to have that offset so that you can turn, offer, and maybe give them a little something extra, you know? So yeah, wallet goes in the left hand back pocket. My pen I will usually carry in right side back pocket, just right there, kind of at the seam. It seems to be a good place to carry it. And usually my flashlight I'll carry on the left side as well. Left side back pocket next to the wallet. Can you see it back here? So it's handy. So a lot of the things that I set up for my EDC carry, I know this is over-explanatory, guys. And I apologize, but I just want you to understand, like some of the why. A lot of my stuff I will set up for around my firearm. So I think right hand, I want to mainly use my right hand for this. So I don't want to carry a lot of stuff with my right that I may want to use at the same time as I use my firearm. Right? That probably makes sense. Give me a thumbs up in the comments down below if that makes sense to you. Flashlight left hand. So if I want to use the flashlight separately from the pistol and not have to use the pistol mounted light, I can use that, access it left-handed. The same concept for the wallet. I want to be able to use my offhand to, it's basically trying to keep anything that you're going to use in your strong hand for your firearm, anything that you might need to access while you're holding the firearm, you probably want to put that on your off side. I always say like keys, things like that, when you're coming out of places, like you're coming out of stores, going to your car, always carry keys, bags, things like that in your offhand so that you still have this right hand free. Just a little tip there. Sometimes I will carry right hand. I'll carry the knife in my right hand pocket. If I'm carrying a sidearm retention knife along with it, because again, the thinking is I want something that's going to be offset to my strong hand. So and I'll usually carry my small arm retention knife somewhere like this. I like to carry it pretty close to center, but I'll get it right in this crease of your leg here so that it doesn't cut into you when you're sitting down. Now I'm a fat boy, so it does kind of poke me in the stomach, but I can get the angle just right where it won't. I like to keep the sidearm retention knife to the offhand so that if I'm trying to defend that gun hand, if somebody's trying to take my gun, I've got this. I've got this as an option. And I will usually carry it center, slightly left of center, so that I can still get it with this hand if I need to. But if you're following along, the general concept is to try to get things offset from my main hand so that this is just the firearm here. So anything else that I might need to use, and especially like a sidearm retention knife, I'm going to want something that, is in the offside hand. So this is not going to be in the gun hand, and I can still use this for retention if I need to. Does that make sense? I hope so. Phone, I usually carry left hand pocket. Again, this is just the concept of I'm going to offer you something from the left if I can blade my body away and give you a little something extra to go with it. You know what I mean? So again, it's about offloading from that strong side, basically, from that strong hand side. A lot of times keys I will keep in my right hand pocket. And if you got a fifth pocket, it's really nice to put these in here, and I could put them in here and have the key on a quick release hanging out the top for the car. But generally I will just put them, in my pocket here. The lighter, a lot of times I'll wear it fifth pocket and just clip it in. So it's not in the way, but it's handy if I need to get to it. Now with the tourniquet, there's a couple of different ways that you can carry this. It's small enough, I could just slip it into my pocket. I could slip it into a back pocket. Oh yeah, let's go ahead and put that in the right hand back pocket with the pen. And then what I like about the Vismix tactical belt here is it gives me the option that I can actually wear this tourniquet on the outside of the belt. So you can actually wrap it around. There's a particular way. I've set it up before, but I don't remember exactly how I did it. but it's where this will hold here, and then basically just wrap this around the Velcro of the belt. And for one thing, it locks your belt to your belt loops, but it also lets you carry this tourniquet just kind of here around your waist and out of the way. So you can see there. And it's right there if I need to use it. Doesn't add a lot of bulk to my waist. And now you can see I'm not printing. But I still have everything on me. Again, if I carry the Leatherman, a lot of times what I'll do is I'll carry the SOG power leader, to be honest. But if I carry the Leatherman, usually what I'll do is I'll put this click and carry sheath on here. And there, it's right there, out of the way. And that's basically everything that I need to carry. So if I need to carry more, or if I want to carry some of the extra items that I showed you. Oh yeah, I'm going to put my watch on. Gotta have the watch. Oh, and that reminds me, I tend to carry like little small useful stuff around my wrists. So I'll carry a Velcro strap sometimes. Right now I've got some 550 cord on this one. And I always have a glass breaker on this one. These little elastic glass breakers are great if you ever, needed to break out a window in an emergency. They're really, really awesome. But anyway, when I need to carry more, I will usually carry something like this Vertex fanny pack. This is the one that was designed by Lena Michulik. If you're not familiar with her, she's Jerry Michulik's daughter. World-class competitive shooter in her own right. But she designed this little Vertex pack, and it's very small, but it's just right. I've got the Vertex Tactigami holster in here, so you actually holster your pistol in there. Let me just show you real quick like how I would set this up. So generally what I'll do is got to take everything off in order because it all kind of interlocks together. So I would generally carry my tourniquet in the back with the gun, or with the pew-pew. I don't know if I can say gun. I just said it again. Why do I keep doing that? So what I'll usually do is carry the tourniquet back here on top of the holster. I'll carry the firearm in the holster. And that's usually about all I carry in the back of it. Then in the front pockets, it's got a whole lot of room on the inside. And it's got a couple of divided pockets here. So I'll usually put like the power leader. Put the pepper spray, put the earbuds. So yeah, you could just load this front pocket up with stuff. And then it does have another mesh pouch on the inside at the bottom. But I got the SOG power leader in there. Got the Gerber Prybrid. Got my pepper spray. Got the earbuds. So just, like extra stuff that I might want to carry along with me, I can always put in here and carry it. It's really small. You can carry it as a crossbody. It works really well as a crossbody or a fanny pack if you're a fanny pack kind of guy. I actually like fanny packs. They don't bother me at all. So, but yeah, that is basically my EDC loadout in a nutshell. That is my ultimate Blackout EDC. So guys, let me know what you think in the comments down below. Let me know what you think about this loadout. I want to know if you think if you have a better recommendation. As a matter of fact, I'm going to challenge you. If you have a better recommendation for any item I've shown on here, comment it down below. Comment it down below. This is the ultimate Blackout EDC. Changed my mind. So anyway, guys, like I always say, the best gear is the gear you have on you. Remember to always be carrying. Average Gear Reviewer.
Average Gear Review. But the best gear is the gear you have on you.